Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to my channel. This is La, and I'm trying to stay consistent with my content on YouTube. As many of you know, I decided this year, a little bit over a month ago, that I'm really going to go ahead and dive into this whole YouTube content creation journey of mine, mainly as a journey, in part of my journey to 50 this year. And I was very consistent for about pretty much a good almost a month, and then many things happened with the death of my brother-in-law, my husband's oldest brother, and then me getting sick for basically almost 2 weeks and losing my voice. I haven't been as consistent, but during that time, I had a lot of time to kind of think, well, since I lost my voice, how I wanted to do this whole content creation journey, what I wanted to talk about, and etc. And so in my moment of just being forced to lay down and talk about, or at least do nothing but sit there and sleep because I was exhausted. And then, as I've said in my other video, losing my voice literally for almost a whole week. And it's still coming back. I still have this cough. Maybe if it doesn't clear up, I probably should go in. But anyhow, at this point right now, it's not a major cause for concern. I'm doing a lot better today. But anyhow, while I was laid up in bed and forced to really do nothing, I kind of had a chance to just review, what I really wanted to do in terms of the type of content and that I wanted to create, or just how I should proceed once I'm able to talk again. And the truth of the matter is, I love some of those more scripted things. I think in a way it kind of forces me to get up and, get a fresh face, do my makeup, just so I can look presentable on camera. And although that is great, it still took some time. And just speaking on a script wasn't what I classify as the most comfortable for me. It was good, but perhaps not as much. And I still will continue to probably do that at some point. Um, but I'm going to probably focus more a little bit on this type of vlog style. So anyhow, I wanted to just kind of continue to push myself and stay consistent and continue to do things that not only will build not only my YouTube channel, but what is also relevant in terms of my mind and what I'm thinking about this morning. And so most of the time when I recorded, it was always more, like I said, more formatted. Look at my hair is all crazy. I just kind of, it's really early in the morning right now. I just went out and released the chickens so they can forage out the farm, and just now finally getting a chance to drink some coffee before I head out to do some errands. But I wanted to just have a little bit of my chit chat here with all of you, and just thinking in terms of uh, where I am and where my thoughts are at, and perhaps even just life lessons, because I think, when I was doing this YouTube channel, I kind of wanted to do something that perhaps would be worthy and or worthwhile for people to tune in whenever I upload a video. And just reflecting back during while I was sick, just kind of thinking about why did I really start this journey anyhow, right? Which was to perhaps in some way, maybe I won't call it a diary, but a little bit of lesson also for myself, and hope that others would also maybe pick up a few things or two. So, topic for today that I was just thinking about, and again, I'm really loving my AI. I'm just sitting here in my living room right now playing with my laptop right now. And we have a small little house here, so I get to sit everywhere, living room, laptop here. Mostly it's just my husband and I home. But one of the things that, as I was just kind of in journaling and just trying to look at my work ahead, the idea and the topic of burnout came to mind. I'm a great believer in this whole thing, where whether it's, part of it is my faith too, but also I like to believe that when you are moving at 1,000,000 miles per second, the universe, God, whatever it is, will force you to slow down, and if you don't slow down, it'll force you to completely be wiped out the way I was. And of course, it took me away from many things, but at the same time, I took a step back and say, okay, what was this? Was I burnt out? And I think in so many ways, in all honesty, I was doing so much. I am a one woman show. I run a food business where I'm there a couple of days a week. It keep me busy. I'm trying to work through this tough economic time, or at least the last couple of years. Last year, it was probably one of the toughest in my industry that I've seen. But then also trying to, the farm has to go. And granted, now I have to get into figuring out what I want to do with my planting and stuff like that. And I am not the greatest. I don't pretend to be, but I do like to plant some things, maybe for sure for my use. But then also anything I grow, like pumpkins and etc., go straight to my feather babies and give them something to eat throughout the winter season too, since there's not a whole bunch of stuff for them to forage and find on the farm, because we supplement their feed with that. But so anyway, yeah, just trying to think about many, many, many things, and just, my own personal stuff that I'm dealing with. I kind of think that I was walking this tightrope of doing too much, not enough rest, and complete burnout. And so maybe it was just my body's way of saying, girl, if you don't slow down, we're going to force you to slow down, which when that happens, it does knock me off my feet and I'm forced to lay down. So, you know, um, although I was pushed back from many things, administrative tasks that I wanted to complete, I can't get too upset. Just because I did have a chance to, stay more in silent and just stay home, and watch Netflix. But burnout sometimes, I don't know about some of you, but if I can, in my younger years, I'm still not that great. I'm working a lot, and I'm becoming a little bit better at it. But when I was younger, and you can probably attribute that to youth, right? Thinking that um, I'm immortal. I can run 1,000,000 miles per second. There were those moments in my early 20s where you can go work all day, launching your early career, go out with your friends all night and come back, sleep for a couple hours and do that again. One thing hasn't changed. I still don't sleep much, whether it's good or bad, I don't sleep a lot. I don't require a whole bunch of sleep. In fact, people probably sometimes hate rooming with me, like my friends, whenever we go on vacation together, because I'm such an early bird. But that still hasn't changed. However, what has changed in terms of things is that when my body really gets beat up the way that it was, and I have to step back and say, is it really just burnout? Is it just my body's way of saying, take a step back, relax, too much anxiety, and I think it's affecting it. So I, one of the beauty, I guess, with age is that I can now just step back and say, I don't need to do everything. I can sit here and not push myself. Whereas in my younger years, it's much easier to just say, oh, I think I can do this. I can continue pushing. And maybe I could at that time. I don't know. But even with this, at this age, I think pushing too hard sometimes really does backfire quite a bit more. And so, um, but in my silence, I think that as I am older now, or more mature, midlife, I do take a lot more of these moments, and I try really hard not to beat myself up too much when things doesn't get done. But one great lesson that I've learned, and I hope maybe this will also pass on to all of you too, is, anyone who's watching this, whether you are in your earlier years or midlife like I am, and maybe some of you are even more wiser than me, but I realize one thing is that things you worry about that doesn't get done, it's going to be here it's going to be here when you're ready and your body's able to handle it. And sometimes worrying too much about things can cause a lot more stress. And my body just, in so many ways, can't handle stress as much as it used to. And so I had to learn ways to adapt. But whether it's in my 20s, 30s, or even now as I approach 50, no matter what you do, how hard you push, the task will always be here. It's not going to go away. The world isn't going to fall apart. so what if things doesn't get done? You know, most importantly, burnout and pushing yourself to that of do, I think has been more detrimental to me than me taking a step back and saying, okay, just reflect and take a pause and uh, attack it and or continue it when you're good and healthy. And so at least I like to believe that the mature, more older midlife law can take a look at that and not be so, I guess, hard on me. Whereas the younger me always strived for perfection. It probably could just be my upbringing too. And when things doesn't get done, then I beat myself up for days about, oh my goodness, this paperwork isn't done or my work isn't done. But anyhow, um, just like I said, just thinking through many things and taking a step back and just trying to be gentle with myself. I'm not 100% there yet, and it seems like the harder I push sometimes, even the last week or several days that I really fully resume some of the normalcy of my life, I find that I'm already beginning to stress about certain things, and the more I need to get things done, I feel like my body is, it gets tired a lot faster. And so that's my cue to say, step back. Okay, maybe we don't need to do this just yet. Just take it easy. So, I just wanted to give you a little bit of that words of wisdom, just because things happen and your body shuts down, you get sick, instead of, looking at it as, oh my goodness, the world is falling. I have so many things to do. Perhaps it's just your body's way of saying that you're kind of burnt out and it's time to just step back and rest a little bit. And, the task at hand will be done when you get around to it. I think in all these years, uh, not trying to be overly dramatic, but the world hasn't fallen apart just because law didn't submit this stuff. And I have to be okay with, some of that inactivity on my part. And to me, I think it will always be a work in progress, even as I hit 50. But it's okay. I think I'm learning to just let go of that perfection. So anyhow, I hope this word of wisdom will be of help to all of you, whoever's tuning in. I am committing myself, instead of doing some more scripted stuff, why don't I just jump on in my imperfection self, no makeup, no nothing, just early in the morning like this with just me and my coffee when the world is kind of silent and the farm is slightly quiet. Just, do a lot more of these content vlog style, just imparting words of wisdom. And in so many ways, it's a reminder to myself as well, too. So, but anyhow, thank you all for listening to the thoughts of a rambling person as I continue to push myself and be comfortable and on my journey to 50. And I hope that all of you, whatever journey you're on, that you do take a pause sometime to smell the roses and don't push yourself too hard, even if things needs to be done. Obviously there's priorities, but take a pause, even if it's just 2 minutes to just breathe. And so that, you can come back a little bit more refreshed. You don't end up the way I did the last 2 weeks. So anyhow, I will touch base with you all soon in the next video. And until then, thank you for watching and have a great day. Thank you.